We're here with Cat Hasty. Sorry. Whiskey Riff Raff. And Cat just thankfully pointed out that Alan wasn't in the picture, so we got Alan moved over. Believe it or not, you can find anything on Etsy. Yeah. And the Alan Jackson cutout. She's like, just send me a photo. So we went on Getty Images, downloaded an amazing photo, and next thing we know, we get a 6-foot
Alan Jackson sent from Australia. I got a George Strait right over here. Maybe I'll put him over here for the next one. Just like a group of people.
My gosh. I love that. That is so cool. I really had no idea you could order that on Etsy.
Those were our backdrops, usually having them behind us when we would record.
I need one of Post Malone.
We're going to get to Post Malone. But first, so we were talking, we had a little technical difficulties. Now we're better. We pride ourselves a lot going back to the start of Whiskey Riff of like kind of predicting or saying we think this artist is going to be big or whatever. And I feel like we have a pretty good track record, similar to like a sports guy, maybe picking a guy who's going to come out of college and be a star. And you're one of the ones now, along with Zach Bryan, who we're going to get to, that we really think is going to be a huge star. But there's going to be a lot of fans listening that maybe just now are getting to know you and your music. So can you tell those folks who exactly is Cat Hasty?
Absolutely. It's hard to sum yourself up sometimes. But I am a singer-songwriter in my soul. That's all I ever really wanted to do. And I grew up writing songs in West Texas. I'm originally from West Texas. I think that shines through in my music. And I didn't really come from a music family. I came from an oil field family, and just trying to navigate my way into the music industry, and things happened really fast for me, and just trying to build a brand and make myself a star out of my songwriting.
Well, I think you're on your way.
Yeah, you're doing a damn good job of it.
Thank y'all very much.
For you,
go ahead.
Was it for someone like you to see like such kind of like a grassroots explosion? Like, I don't feel like it happens very often with somebody like yourself, like a singer songwriter, country-ish, like Americana-ish, whatever the hell you want to call it. Like, if you're like a pop star on TikTok doing like crazy shit, like, yeah, sometimes you can get 1 million fans overnight, but like with you, it's just like
fans, people
resonating with what you're saying. And I feel like that's like such a more powerful thing that builds like long-term fans. And that's not even really a question. I'm just like shooting praises to you right now.
Well, thank you very much. And I pride myself on that. It's really cool to be able to connect with fans and stuff, and kind of stay true to that singer-songwriter grassroots stuff. So thanks for saying that.
When I listen to you, going back to like the early Miranda Lambert days, I definitely get a feel of that. I don't know if you've heard a Miranda Lambert comparison ever, or if you like her music. Or
Miranda Lambert is actually, I really didn't grow up on country music, and Miranda Lambert was the first artist as a child that I heard. I was like, I think I'm going to be a country singer.
Yeah,
she's kind of my idol.
That comes through whether it's intentional or not. I mean, I'm assuming it's more organic for you to just sound how you sound, but we're always harping on that as people know to listen to this. Like, you're authentic. You don't seem to kind of buy into the noise, and your Twitter tells a lot of the story with you. I think you're a great tweeter. You're probably the best tweeter. Ratio wise, you got like 20 something thousand followers, right? Or so.
Yes.
But then you'll get a lot of tweets that are like 3, 4, 5,000 retweets, 5,000 likes. I mean, that ratio of that's, you're doing it right. Like, that means like that means you have real fans. That means you have people that follow you, want to hear what you think you're funny, think you have good comebacks, whatever.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I was bookmarking one before we went on, and I was like kind of talking to Wes, and like, these are some funny ones. And I accidentally was like liking some of the old ones. I'm like, oh, this looks weird. Like, I was just like, shit, panicked. I had that moment of like, oh, like back in the day when you would go on somebody's Instagram. But
oh gosh, no, I mean, back in the day, I still do that.
Are you deep in the likes?
Sometimes, or like I hand my mom my phone and I'm like, check out this picture of so and so, and she'll zoom in and she always likes it. I'm like, oh my god,
Mom,
mother.
that's from 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. She still doesn't get it.
I don't think I've let my mom touch my phone in 10 years.
Oh god.
My mom's nosier than most.
Facebook and stuff. Post Malone though, we mentioned him, and you had a photo you posted. I don't know when that actually took place. It's a funny photo because he just kind of looks, he's always doing something in a photo that's pretty funny. In that photo, he's got like his hand in his pants, or I don't know what he's doing, right?
Hold on. You know that picture is photoshopped, right?
Wait,
what? Really?
That does not look photoshopped.
Oh my gosh. I tried it. Okay. So a couple years back, I've been like,
I pride myself on never getting tricked with this shit.
Same.
I have to go get something really quick. Hold on.
What?
Right here.
How? You need a job in graphic design.
Dalton Domino.
Now I'm
got me this
pissed.
for Christmas. And his girlfriend Whitney. And it is me and
just
Post
like a
Malone.
joke. Yeah.
Photoshopped picture. But it goes back actually, like, I've been obsessed with Post Malone since like White Iverson. And a couple years ago, I just started photoshopping us into pictures. And I've gotten a lot better at Photoshop over time.
Clearly.
And now that I'm, now that Post is like invested in the country music scene kind of, people started like believing this. And I guess y'all did too. And so now I have to explain that this has been a long running joke.
Well, it meshed perfectly with where you're saying, like Post kind of being involved in country. I know he's probably gone to Texas and hung out and gone to concert or whatever.
He's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe you were backstage at some big show and you ran into him. Not that crazy.
I wish. I'm manifesting that to happen, but it has not happened yet. But
I think it will.
Have a lot of pictures.
How about we'll tag him a couple of times. Hopefully he noticed it. It's crazy though. His stuff does so well. There's this weird bridge with him because he's just like this very unique artist. I feel
absolutely
hardcore country fans like him.
Yeah. So
when we post stuff, nobody's like, "What the fuck?" People are like, "Cool, like you're posting something Post Malone related," because there's always some type of connection to the country thing.
Yeah.
He's probably like the only guy though that I can or girl that I can think of that has that in the non-country world that has that connection to it. I mean, Diplo tried with these like EDM songs, but nobody goes, "Oh, Diplo."
Yeah.
It's like
I think
Post Malone.
He's so likable and like a way that I don't really even listen to the music that much, but I'm just like, I like this guy. There's something about him. I like him. I drink a beer with him, a Bud Light.
I always talk about that. He just seems like, he's in LA or wherever he is, he's really living the Hollywood life, but it seems like he's still a good old boy. And that's what I love about him.
I'm pretty sure he moved to Utah. I'm pretty sure he moved to Utah.
Really?
Yeah, he lives in Utah.
Okay, cool.
He was on Joe Rogan talking about wanting to be like in nature and stuff.
Yeah, I think he's got a pretty big spread out in Utah in the country somewhere. And
interesting.
Has to drive in alcohol though, because you can't really exactly get it's slim pickings in Utah for booze. So it's
I imagine it's slim pickings for a lot of illicit substances in Utah.
Yeah. Right. But yeah, that's funny, and I feel like an idiot now.
No, don't feel like an idiot.
No.
Everybody believed it. And I felt like a liar because I thought it was obvious. When you're looking at your own Photoshop, you can spot how fake it is. Yeah. But so many people thought it was real. I was like, oh, I've actually got to tell people that this isn't real because they're going to think I'm just lying.
Well, the thing with, I saw the next photo of him wearing your shirt. And I knew that one, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a really good job of Photoshop because it looks right. Real, but I knew it was probably like, this is a good, clever way because I've seen that. But the one before, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So good job. The Photoshop.
Those are just great Photoshop skills, man.
Did you listen to his Hootie and the Blowfish cover that he released yesterday?
Yesterday? No, I haven't.
It's
I
some like
need to check
some
it
like
out.
Pokemon thing, but he
Killed it.
He released a cover of Hootie and the Blowfish. People were like, "What the hell?"
Which
Damn.
what's the one?
Dude, he's so cultured. Like,
All You Want to
have
Be
y'all
With
seen
You.
the videos of him singing like Bob Dylan
Mhm.
and
Bob
just like he used to
Dylan.
be in a metal band. Like he's an incredible musician, and that's what I think bridges him between country music and the pop world is that he's not just a rapper. He's truly a musician that's really talented.
Yeah, he was singing country with Dwight Yoakam and stuff on his Dwight Yoakam radio show.
Yeah, he references Dwight Yoakam in some of his songs.
And
so
Wes posted a Sturgill, right? It was Sturgill says he wants to produce his like an instrument only album for Post Malone.
Yeah, like
so that would blow people's minds. Sturgill and Post Malone working together. So
would be so cool.
That's cool. Well, good job confusing me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be thinking about this. I'm gonna be laying in bed tonight thinking about this. And damn it.
I want to ask you something real quick because this is something Wes and I have talked about with some other Texas artists, and you guys all say this, and I don't, and not in a bad way, but you talk about building a brand. Wes, haven't we talked like? Doesn't this seem like you guys are much more open about it, and it's not. I don't look at it as a thing of like building a brand that's not real. It's like taking what you are and like harnessing it and really like crushing it but not being like this phony Nashville built in a lab thing, right?
Manufactured.
Like, when you guys say it, I feel like it's a very different thing.
When I say building a brand, what I mean by that is, I say I'm a songwriter and that's all I am. I'm a songwriter. I'm not a public figure. I'm not an influencer. I'm not a work of art. Honestly, like I'm just a songwriter, and to really move mountains with that, you have to build a brand around yourself. You have to build up your Instagram. You have to build up your followings on everything and just build a brand who you want the world to know that you are, and that's something I'm kind of just working on and learning how to do and learning how to navigate the industry in that way. So
cool.
That's what I say when I mean building a brand.
That makes sense.
How do you instrumental you think TikTok is going to be in that process going forward? Because you've blown up on TikTok in a sense. Not that you're like a TikTok star, but like people have taken your music and like started like using it in all their videos. And
so I always tell people this. I actually had no idea when I put my stuff on TikTok. It was like just some stupid video. I don't even know if y'all have seen the video that made me blow up on TikTok, but it was just a stupid video of me, like, I don't know, attempting to be funny. And it ended up being like this viral sensation. And that was actually, I learned after that how vital TikTok is in the music industry. Like that actually was like very eye-opening. I wasn't even necessarily trying to use TikTok as a tool, but now like going forward, I think that TikTok is just such an incredible thing to use for musicians that like you would have to be stupid not to take advantage of it. Because I mean, you can literally post a video with 10 followers and overnight, depending on what your content is, you can have 1 million followers the next day. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I went from being a nobody in the Texas country scene to being a nationally discussed songwriter all over the country in a matter of months. Like TikTok is probably the most vital tool in the music industry. Like I would really say that it's incredible the success that like small songwriters are seeing from posting videos. So I would say hopefully it'll be very vital the more I use it.
And if you don't mind, if I play devil's advocate, and I agree completely, but the difference is with you, I think you're actually still just great at what you do. So even if TikTok wasn't around, you'd be fine. Like it would still happen. No, I'm serious. So like, but here's the problem with TikTok. There's the verticals that are in TikTok, what we see in country. There are people like you, right? And there's people like in Texas, or like a young kid with another kid we've been talking to, and really good stuff where they just use it to sit there and do acoustic stuff. And you're like, oh, this is awesome. And it's just legit original. But then you have the other side of TikTok which is like horrendously bad in my opinion, like poppy country, just trying to game the system, to have Nashville sign you, to get your one song on iTunes charts, and then you get a record deal, but you have zero fans. You actually don't have you have fans, you do. But there's that other world of TikTok where it's like TikTok house in Nashville. We're all going to get together and make content. No, it's called music. You're supposed to be making music.
I 100% agree with you. And I definitely, and see, that's what I thought it honestly was going into. And there's so many people, people down here are really stuck in their ways about, like the internet and TikTok and like being a viral sensation. It's all very, even labels. I mean, like people down here are very against labels and things like that. And like, I just think that you should use every tool that's presented to you. And if people want to put you in that category, but you're still true to yourself, I think the more publicity, honestly, the better. Like, it just depends on how you use it. But I agree. TikTok is, but I also think there's a lot of people that won't get on there because their ego is like, I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to do it myself, whatever. And I'm like, man, why would you just not use anything that's laid in front of you if you want to be a successful, I mean, I think it's a business move, honestly.
We use it too.
You can use it the same way you use Instagram and Twitter and YouTube to put videos of your music out there. Like, and you'd probably be a fool not to. Yeah. But I think like with you, like similar to like a Zach Bryan type, like actually viral, like musician in a way, which is like different than a TikTok viral kind of thing.
Moment.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I like grown fans just like essentially out of just like, oh, we see your music, we hear your music, we resonate with it. And then it just starts snowballing. And the next thing you know, like you said, over the course of a few months, you have tons and tons of fans. And I think that's kind of why like you and Zach kind of get put into this group, is this like, people like, I feel like it's like Cat and Zach are like this, like, and it was cool that you guys hung out recently, but they're kind of like put together in this like, oh, these super viral grassroots like country singers.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's funny. We literally always say that it's always the two of us, just like in every aspect, just being thrown in together. It's funny, but I don't know anybody else that's kind of done that, so it's cool.
How was hanging out with Zach, and how was that whole process? And we posted like Wes, I think you did the video and
Belting Bronco video, which is cool.
So how was that whole thing with
it was absolutely wonderful. Those guys are so cool. Super genuine. I mean, Zach is the same person that he comes off as, just super genuine, welcoming, good old boy. Like, that is, when I talk about building a brand around who someone really is, that is Zach Bryan. He is just as wholesome as the world thinks he is. It's refreshing.
He went off the radar, I think. Like he deleted his social media for writing a record or whatever. So I'm sure we're going to get something really good pretty soon.
Hopefully so.
Did you write anything with him? Any of that, or for you?
Actually, we're talking about doing some stuff, but we did, honestly, we went down there. It snowed like 3 feet while we were down there, and and there was a bunch of us there, and honestly, like, we planned on like collaborating on stuff, and then we kind of just had fun and got to, I mean, that was our first time meeting, so we all just kind of hung out and got to know each other, and there were some other songwriters there, and it was like, and so I kind of like, my idea going forward into co-writing and stuff is I'd really like to build a relationship with someone before doing that, because it's just kind of a awkward, hard thing for me to do. And so it was just nice getting to know them, and hopefully good stuff will come out of it in the future.
Nice.
So the answer is no, we are not releasing anything together.
It's like the opposite of the Nashville. Let's put 3 strangers in a room and expect them to crank out number ones.
Right.
Yeah, that's not me and Zach. Yeah.
What's next for you? Obviously, you've had some songs really take off. Pretty Things, obviously, tons of listens and streams. With the EP, Drowning in Dreams, are you looking towards a full album soon, or are you kind of taking your time writing? What's kind of the next steps?
Well, things are so back and forth right now, and I cannot give y'all a definite answer because I keep promising things and then life keeps changing. I mean, I've just gotten a whirlwind of like more options than I ever had, and we're just exploring options right now, trying to figure out what we're gonna do, who we're gonna go with, if we're gonna release music, if we're gonna finish Drowning in Dreams, and it's just been crazy. So I do not know, but there will be new music soon, in whatever form it is. There will be new music, and hopefully it'll be really good.
What has anything happened to you in the last like few months, 6 months, a year or so, where you're like, you said it's been such a whirlwind, anything like crazy where you're just like, holy shit, this is my life now? Any like crazy moments?
Yeah. I feel like I don't know what I can tell y'all or not, but
you can tell us.
The internet connection got a little spotty, so
I can just tell everybody I was here.
Yeah, the internet connection got a little spotty, so maybe a little part will get cut out and right when you need it.
Meeting Shooter Jennings has been the coolest thing, the most unimaginable thing thus far to happen. Like never being like starstruck before, and just that's pretty cool. That's the coolest thing that's happened to me. I mean, a lot of stuff has happened.
He'll be producing your new album.
But no. We don't know anything. But meeting him has been, I mean, that was the biggest thing that took me back, that to meet somebody like that and to feel like they believed in you was I was like, oh shit, man, that's crazy. This is what little Cat dreamed of. So
yeah, I mean, George Strait followed us on Twitter once, and that's kind of how we felt.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I'm kidding. Yeah. I mean, he did follow us.
Yeah. Probably not him, but you know, somebody on the
runs
team.
his Twitter.
Do you because we bring up Nashville, Texas a lot, I tweeted the other day, I was like, somebody asked me like Texas and Nashville music or mainstream country, like what's the difference? And Wes and I were even talking about this, and I was like, you just skip a lot less music for me. If I just put on Texas country playlist that we have like 600 songs on it or whatever, a new playlist that we updated on our channels, and I just very rarely like skip a song. Like even like a song where lyrically you're just like, oh, this is just like a beer, whiskey, bonfire, whatever. Similar bro country. It's still not nearly as bad as that was in Nashville. So I just say you skip a fuck ton less songs. I always feel like that with Texas. And I know a lot of Texas artists blow up and they end up, becoming, known everywhere. But have you had any experience with the Nashville machine? I'm sure you have. I'm sure people are throwing, or if you haven't, you will with the labels and stuff. But have you felt any of that extreme difference of the phoniness that can kind of come with Nashville and being like trying to formulate an image for somebody where maybe in Texas it's a little more natural, or it's a little more, this is who I am?
I think, and I will really honestly credit Zach for this in a way. I think that people know that Zach's going to do whatever he wants, and that he's going to write the music he wants, and that's who he is. He's not changing. And I think when I say people have grouped us together, I'm talking every industry person that I've spoken with. Not that we're the same, or like, we just always get thrown together because of what we're doing with our music. And I think he kind of paved a way when he signed with Warner, that people kind of were like, we're going to let Cat do what she wants too. And so I think that honestly, nobody has really pushed being a pop star on me. Like nobody in the Texas scene, nobody in the Nashville scene. Like, I think that they've seen like the success that's come from doing my own thing, that I actually think they want to build a brand around that. And there's phony people everywhere. I mean, there's phony people in Nashville, there's phony people in Texas, there's phony people anywhere where there's money. So I wouldn't say I've seen it more on either side. But I have a really good team around me, and we're pretty good at spotting bullshit. So
that's good.
I think there's phony people everywhere, but I wouldn't say that I've honestly seen it more or less on either side.
It's good to hear.
So,
yeah.
Unfortunately, not the case with us, but
really. Oh no!
Well, I'm in college. No. Everything that we've done, to be completely honest, and we've told the story, but like I'm in Colorado right now. Wes is in Chicago, but we met in Chicago years ago in college, and everything with Whiskey Riff and the growth and like the real growth, like the organic growth to where we can hire a team now and we have multiple employees, and all of that started when we just basically were like, fuck off to Nashville. Like, and I'm not, because it was just this like constant bullshit cycle of like, hey, here's a new guy. Here's another guy that just comes out of a lab that looks good and does bicep curls, and you can, and then they just a pretty guy with a keychain necklace, and you're just like, Jesus Christ, like again. And I think that's why, like when Luke Combs came along, we was like, oh, this guy looks like my buddy that I grew up with. And then when that guy blows up, it's kind of like, it's exactly the opposite of what they were trying for so long. And I think it kind of goes back to that the 90s country feel for us growing up on 90s country and stuff.
Well, they even told Luke that he didn't look the part.
Right.
Like, you're going to be a songwriter, man. You don't really look the part. He's like,
they said his song sucked too. So
I look the part.
They didn't like the songs either. So it was like, because it was like, oh, we need a Luke Bryan shaking his ass on stage. No, you don't. No, you don't. Look at Alan Jackson. Never fell off a stage once.
This guy. Not one.
Never fell off a stage once. George Strait never fell off a stage. Not dancing. Like, maybe they did and it wasn't on video, but I doubt it. I doubt it was because they were dancing on stage. We're gonna have Thomas Rhett on, and we've been busting his balls for about 5 years now. So there's a great example. I love Thomas Rhett's older music when he was younger. I was like, oh, this is legit, like good songwriting, good country music. And then he hires Justin Timberlake's dance instructor to start dancing. And so we're excited to talk to him about this.
Who are some of the people that you listen to that are some kind of the people you look up to right now?
Yeah, mainstream and not.
Okay. I really listen to like more folk music. Honestly, I listen to like a lot of Lumineers, Camp.
I was just gonna say Camp. God damn it.
Yeah, I listen to like I honestly love pop music. I couldn't name a single like pop country song, but I love pop music. Like I listen to a lot of Miley Cyrus and Halsey, Post Malone. I listen to a lot of that stuff. And I mean, when it comes to like red dirt Texas country, I usually listen to like William Clark Green, Randy Rogers, kind of like the OGs of Texas country. I don't really know much about the new stuff coming out. I'm a mom. I really like, honestly, if I actually
Baby
have
Shark.
the time, I'm writing music, not listening to music. I don't listen to that much music, which is a crazy thing to come from a musician's mouth, but I don't have a whole lot of time. So
my wife and I had our first baby about almost 10 months ago. So I've had the baby during COVID and then moved across the country from Chicago to Colorado and kind of gone through the whole process of, I totally get the music thing though. It's like listening to music. I mean, like Wes and I even talk about this. Like, I don't really listen to music the way I used to. It's more like, I got this Bluetooth speaker and I'll play for the baby, but it's like weird, like meditation music while we're doing bath time. And then I'll like then after bath time, I'll smoke weed and just listen to the same music to like just like chill. It's no words. This music has no words. So now when I get my Spotify end of year playlist, here's your top songs.
Guys with bowls.
Yeah, it's like Tibet. It's like
I
Tibetan
am relating to this so much right now.
It's Tibetan. It's Tibetan monk music. I'm serious. And then you got your occasional like one song that I become obsessed with that I haven't heard in a long time, like
a Ryan Bingham song you listen to 15 times in a row.
Yeah. So it's just like this weird mix of Ryan Bingham's actually, that's a great segue, Wes. He's actually one of the artists that I play for the baby, and he responds to it with Chris Stapleton as well. Those two.
Aww.
Like he would chill out. And then Wes had come across one of your tweets about Bingham, I think, and we were talking about it.
You tweeted something about being like a singer-songwriter girlfriend and a Ryan Bingham looking hot guitar playing boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, I like Ryan Bingham too.
I liked your response was great. So some guy commented like, this is a bad tweet. You're like, it's not a bad tweet. It's just what I want my reality to be. You said something, you had a great response to the guy.
I said, it's not a bad tweet. It's just my life.
Yeah.
What did I say? Yeah.
Something like that. But that guy's a stud. Whoever thinks that guy's not a stud is a fucking idiot.
I think he's the most underrated dude in like the world.
Also the most underrated, good-looking guy, I think, in a lot of ways too. Like
I agree with that too. He's beautiful. I love him.
And my wife started watching Yellowstone, and I was like, "Look at this guy," and she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Do you know who this guy is?" And I start playing the music. She's like, "Holy shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, he's a real artist." I became
a real cowboy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
My moment with him, was Crazy Heart. So he's like has a small role with Jeff Bridges in there, obviously playing in his band or whatever. So I was like, oh, like he's like, this guy is kind of like acting, but he's an incredible musician. And ever since then, I was just like, became super into it. One of the most underrated, in my opinion, artists there is. Who would you say is like really underrated in your opinion? Like somebody that doesn't get enough love, or he's up there, I think, probably for all of us. But we tweet that question a lot. We tweet that question a lot and get a ton of responses. We always tweet about every few months just to get a kind of a gauge on what people are feeling at the time.
Man, I'm trying to think of who I like really, really think is under. Oh my God, I know who, but I don't think she's gonna be underrated after this album takes off. I mean, if she was touring, honestly, right now, I feel like she would be blowing up, which she kind of is blowing up. But Morgan Wade, I love her. Like, we posted love her. I have never like my thing, like stage wise, or just like. I always feel uncomfortable singing my sad songs. Like just singing, if people don't know them, like it makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather have people singing my songs along or singing happy songs just because I don't know, that's who I am. But when she sings her sad songs and people are just mesmerized by her and just listening, it's so powerful. I mean, she's like amazing. She's such a good songwriter. I love her.
I almost made
I can't wait till she blows up.
I almost made a meme the other day of the the like kombucha girl who's like,
I haven't seen it.
It was good. That blonde girl. It was gonna be Morgan W, like Morgan WA, and then Wallen, and then the Wade, like. But that's a good. I felt like it wouldn't have landed, and then I would have had all these good Morgan Wallen fans just like railroading my DMs, and I was like, I'm probably not gonna do that.
We posted.
I agree.
We posted her a few times, and the reaction has been people. That's a good call.
Yeah, she got the album coming out soon, and I think it's gonna be pretty awesome. And I've just even the reaction, like, I mean, posting her first single off this album was like crazy for us. Like, not that like I kind of just didn't expect it. I was like, oh shit, man, people are tweeting like, holy fuck, this is awesome, and oh, I love her. And
she's another one of those people that is truly doing her own thing. Like, I respect her a lot because I feel like she's truly a songwriter. Like, that's what I love about her. I don't think she's gonna vary too much from the path that she like wants to be on. She's just really doing her own thing, and it's working. And I really am loving like seeing songwriters doing their own thing, and it's working for them, and they're not, you know, trying to do anything else. It's awesome.
I wanted to ask you about a tweet that I actually ended up doing a post about when the whole Morgan Wallen thing kind of went down. You were talking about drinking, and I think I was just, I used it to write an article more about, like, obviously we're talking about what happened, but you kind of like made a point to talk about like when drinking gets out of control, it's like easy to hide in some ways. It's like, unless you're out there making an ass of yourself, it's pretty easy for most people to not to know what's going on. And I think Wes and I, in a really depressing way, have seen that with plenty of folks over the last handful of years that we've been doing this. And you kind of see what they'll post on Instagram, but then you see what they're telling you at, you know, midnight when you run into them at a bar or whatever. And it's very different.
Absolutely.
I was just wondering if you wanted, not, you don't got to get into it too much, but that tweet obviously probably came from a place where you kind of really like, you understand that world. And I think Wes and I, like I said, I've seen that too. So.
Well, I actually just talked about this with my best friends in the car on our way home. And we were just talking about, I'm very blessed that I had a child when I did, because I think if I would have seen this kind of success and started touring when I was 19 years old, I would have gone off the rails. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have been able to control myself. And it's a blessing that she is here to keep me grounded and keep me, you know, just grounded. I have that. But I've seen so many other people. That tweet specifically was about a friend that's been touring for 10 years, and he's never been off the road for this long. And whenever he got off the road, I think he realized that he's still drinking, even just sitting in his house. You know, you can make excuses for yourself all you want, like, oh, well, we're going on tour and we're having fun and we're just partying, and that's like the lifestyle that you live. And then you realize when you get off the road for this long that you're still doing that. It's a part of you. It's alcoholism, like, and it's been disguised as just having fun for so long, but it's really just your lifestyle. And I think a lot of musicians are like hurting right now because a lot of them are realizing that, being off the road and still doing the same thing. So there's Baby.
I was gonna say, is that her?
Ava, you can say hi. This is my very best friend, Lori Potts. I guess Baby. Hello. Sir. Hey, hi, Ava.
Hey.
Say hi.
Say hi.
On the podcast.
No, honey. She didn't wake up. We've been playing.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah, it was well said.
Yeah, it was
just well said.
I mean, there's not much help out there for that unless you have a personal friend that struggled with it. And my manager, Dalton, he's been sober for 2 years now, and he as a sponsor, and he leads AA, and he has a group where they all just support each other. And I just think that should be more available, because it's a hard thing to go through, and it's such a hard thing to fall back into when, you know, everybody's doing it around you, and some people have problems and some people don't, you know. So
yeah,
I think even
hard thing, it's a real thing.
I think even Sturgill Simpson in the Morgan incident kind of like alluded to the fact that, like, well, none of his buddies ever been like, hey dude, maybe we need to like tone this down, or maybe you got something going on that you need to work on. Like, it's like they're just riding the coattails to, you know, of his success, and like, oh yeah, just along for the ride, you know, along for the party. Right. And it's like, well, dude, the guy who's driving the train is a little bit off the rails right now. Like, and you just don't necessarily, you need those strong group of people around you to.
Yeah, it's still, but it's still not talked about, like you said, Kat. Like, it's just
it's not. Like, and if it is talked about, it's not taken seriously enough, you know, because some people are doing the same thing as you and they don't have the problem with it. You know, they don't, like, some people can do this and then they can just quit. And so they don't take it seriously for somebody who can't, you know? So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and especially when you throw money in their face, you know, when you have the money to be doing that every night, you have nothing stopping you from doing whatever you want, you know? So
I know every time I post like every time I post like a throwback or tweet something about Keith Whitley or something, you like read, you kind of look back at it like his, like you're like, it's so tragic that like somebody that was that great died because of alcohol that young. You know, it's just that you're like, whoa, like you forget, because as time goes on, you're, okay, he's a legend. And you forget kind of like what really happened there. So it was just like a very, but you see it like, especially now with like social media and stuff, you'll see one side, right? What's actually going on, whether it's partying or whatever. And then you kind of see this, the label, all right, let's try to form this. We've said this too. It's like the dudes have way more slack on that. We've seen it even with podcast stuff, and we've done it's like the dudes have so much slack for that. Like, okay, yeah, go be that, have that part of your image. But if a female,
but then women do it, and she's just a woman that's off the rails.
Yeah. So it's like, no, delete that quick. We don't want you taking tequila shots on your Instagram. So it's like, what? Like, you know,
ain't that the truth?
Yeah, no, that's definitely the truth. And there's some labels that don't like us because we've spoken about that. So,
well, thanks for speaking on it. It is true.
What bugs you overall, though, now that you're kind of getting into this world of becoming like a true known artist, and the songwriting has propelled you to this level? Are there stuff, do you have any pet peeves, anything that's really annoying you out there? You're like, oh, I got to do this, or I'm seeing this, it's like a pain in the ass. I'm sure there's probably some petty shit.
Because there's a lot of perks, but there's also got to be some things where you're like, ah, damn it. Like,
well, okay. So actually,
I hope it's not this.
There's a few things.
Podcasts.
One of the main things is that, like, I live in Stephenville, and so my fan base is extremely saturated here. Like, we're in the cowboy capital of the United States. Those are the people that listen to my music. I have like the most listeners in the town I live in. And so I mean, one of the pet peeves is just like, I really like, I can pretty much go be a normal person like anywhere else besides the place that I live. And so I going anywhere, it's something I really have to deal with, like always having to be prepared to be in public. And I don't know, it's just like, you kind of get self-conscious knowing that like people around you know who you are. And like, that's something I'm just not used to. And I know that also people assuming things. People on TikTok were talking about how I was like a millionaire, that they were saying that I was a millionaire. And then there was other people defending me saying, well, she's a millionaire, but she made it up herself. Like, she did it herself. She's self-made millionaire. I'm like, I am not a millionaire. What are y'all talking about? And I mean, people are crazy. People are just so in your business, and they think that they know you. And I don't know. I don't really care though. I live in my own little world. I have a small circle of friends, and they keep me sane. I have a baby, so I pretty much stay at my house. And but yeah. You've posted some stuff about the dudes and like the dating thing in Texas, I believe, or like just like the guys. You said something like men, right? The Texas guy is a very different guy to the rest of the guys outside of Texas. Is that correct? I'm assuming. Like Texas musicians? I don't know. Just what's a Texas dude like these days? You know, it's funny that I post about dating so much, because to be completely honest, I really don't even like date that much. And I just like, every time I talk to a guy, I tweet about it. So it kind of looks like I do, but well,
the tweets are funny.
What is a Texas guy? Thank you. Just in a general Texan, I would say they're very gentlemanlike. And I've actually moved outside of Texas a couple of times, and I love the people here. It's home, and I always think I'll probably marry a Texas boy. I would think. I love Texas. They're like me.
Texas is great. Like, we got to get down there more often. It's just, it's so different in so many different areas, but the people itself, and like just like the food, and like just like the way of life. I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, we did my bachelor party in Austin.
I love Southern culture. I really love Southern culture. It's like very inbred in me, and it's very it is very alive and well in Stephenville. I mean, it is so Southern hospitality here. And it's like roots, real country people that grew up in the country and were raised on manners. And I mean, people are just really friendly here. Open doors. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I love it.
Nice.
Right
Well,
on.
Cat, thank you so much. We'll definitely have you back on when there's more album or whenever you can give some news on that front.
When
We'd love to have
Shooter
you on here.
Jennings produces that record.
Absolutely.
or something.
Oh, we don't know about that.
We don't know.
I'm kidding. I'm
Don't
kidding.
put that on there.
I'm kidding.
No.
Don't get all you TikTokers.
We're
all
just
you TikTokers
we're
that
just
think she's a
predicting.
millionaire. Don't start talking about that.
Yeah, don't get carried away.
Well, have a great weekend
Okay.
and say hi to the
thank
baby
y'all so
for
much
us.
for having me. Will do.
Yeah, no, thank
I
you.
really enjoyed talking to you guys.
Awesome.
Likewise.
Thanks.
Thank you, Kat. Take it easy.
Are
See
we
ya.
signing off? All
Yep.
right.
Yep.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Bye.